Welcome back. Hopefully you managed to interpret the figure there, and these are the sort of answers that you got for understanding synoptic weather charts. So we've got the isobars here and what low pressure centres indicate. So these L stands for low pressure here, which is also the answer in this box. So where the pressure isn't getting any lower, that's obviously the lowest point there. And then we've got these symbols which I explained earlier, warm and cold fronts, and the weather associated with warm and cold fronts that you may remember from GCSE geography, where warm fronts might bring gentle rain or light snow depending on the season, and cold fronts usually bring more unsettled weather and more extreme weather, but quite often a cold front catches up a warm front, and this is where we get an occluded front, and this is the symbol for that. This is an area of unsettled weather. So normally in a typical storm, you might remember the triangular shape of the warm front approaching. As the warm front passes over an area, you get gentle rain, followed by warmer, milder weather. As the cold front passes over, there's a sudden drop in temperature, the winds become stronger and there's more rainfall. And then ultimately, as the storm passes across an area of land, the cold front catches up and the area becomes occluded. So a trough is just the meteorological term for an extended area of low pressure, usually brought around by fronts, and this is the associated weather that goes with that. So this is what a synoptic chart might look like in a typical storm event that might lead to flooding. So you can see here that we have very close together isobars. The closer together the isobars are, the quicker the change in pressure, from one area to another, the higher the wind speed. Winds blow from areas of high pressure to low. So winds, as indicated by this synoptic chart, will be blowing towards the centre of the low from areas of high to low pressure. And because the Earth is spinning at the same time, winds will be deflected around in this sort of direction due to the Earth spinning at the same time. But you may remember this from GCSE geography. So we have a typical front here passing across. There's the United Kingdom underneath. You can see Ireland here and Northern Ireland. And you can see London would be here, and there's the United Kingdom. And over here we have France. And you can see this is the Atlantic and North America over here. So these are weather fronts in the UK, and storms normally come from the west and southwest across the ocean like this. The reason they occur over the UK is because we have cold fronts which travel towards the UK from this direction, warm air which travels towards the UK from this direction, and they usually meet in the Atlantic somewhere off the west coast of Britain. And because the prevailing winds are westerly, the fronts travel across the UK in this direction. And we have here the warm air being pushed ahead across the United Kingdom, followed by the cold air with the cold front here. And you can see that this is actually a storm event as the two air masses have met there. If you want to revisit air masses, you should look on the Met Office website, as this will explain in more detail the weather and meteorology behind this, which is strictly speaking not on the Edexcel A-level syllabus. So we've just about finished our revision lesson there on flooding, and you'll see that there's 2 bits of homework, a 3-mark data response question, which you'll find in the shared area, and this 12-mark question, which is also in the shared area. You can submit this homework via Teams. You'll find details of the homework on the Teams area as well. If you have any questions, I will be available to answer them during lesson times, and I hope you enjoyed this lesson.